Hey guys, NTT83, Non-Tactical Tailor 83 on Instagram. I was asked to do a quick comparison video between the SAR 109T and some other of the pistol caliber carbines or SBR type similar platforms, basically. So to get right into it, try to keep this under like 11-minute mark. So the 109T pros and cons. The only real con is the fact that every component on it is Loctite to an extreme condition. So you do have to use a lot of heat to get the components off. Outside of that, once you get those off, it is 110% customizable, and all basic AR accessories will work with it. Now, one of the questions that I got in the comment section is, due to the lower and upper receiver being shorter than a standard AR platform, does a standard vice block work for the upper? And the answer is yes. Now for the lower, what I did to remove the receiver extension is use a non-serviceable old Uzi magazine. The dimensions between the Colt pattern and the Uzi mags are very similar. You can even modify Uzi magazines to work in, Colt 635 or the 109T. What I did, put a Uzi magazine in there, heated up the receiver extension, cracked it loose with a pipe wrench. You can't use a combo tool due to the castle nut being a smaller dimension. Now these are set up and made from Dennis at SAR USA. These are set up for military use, so they are built to military specifications, shipped in. Some components are removed to make them sellable on the US market. I'm not talking about that in this video though, so moving on. Another, the most probably accurate comparison I can do here is the original Colt 635. Now, the lower was made for me by Unbranded AR because when this parts kit was imported back into the US, the lower had to be destroyed. So the lowercase spelling on that is purposeful, just due to government experimentation. When they were cranking out lowers at certain times, they would it would all be technically on this side where it would say Cal SMG, Cal 9mm. It would have a Colt logo and then property of US government. But I wanted to make it kind of like an experimental lower, so I used lowercase spelling. Anyway, closest comparison would be the original Colt 635. Now the difference is the recoil and the buffer system is 20 times better in the SAR 109T. It's not as clunky. You don't have to do any modification to the buffer system. The main complaint on these 635s is in full auto, they're very clunky, and so you get a blowback, and you got like a lot of up and down muzzle rise and things. With the 109T, you really don't experience that due to the buffer system, and the bolt carrier has like a little nub on the back. The buffer has a little nub on the back, and the bolt carrier is made to decrease or mitigate the recoil. So, apples to apples, 109T versus the antiquated Colt 635. However, this is still one of my favorite SMGs. It is SBR'd. Everything has been safety checked prior to filming. The reason I'm not doing it on camera is to save time and keep this video short. Next, Uzi, IMI Uzi Model B. This is an original. It's not like a clone or a build. It is SBR'd. The only con on this is it's heavy. It is probably one of the most enjoyable PCCs or patterns that I have to shoot. Magazines are extremely affordable. It is accessorizable, but you get into some money with like a top cover to put like an optic or whatever on it, Call of Duty it out. You get into a little bit of money, which is moving on to the next project. Sorry, that was a suppressor, or not suppressor, flash hider. This is the POF mp5 bought at the beginning of COVID. I SBR'd it like literally the day I walked in the door. Form 1 took 2 weeks. The longest I've waited on any of my Form 1s, I've done all E-forms, has been about 21 days. Tops, usually it's about 7 days to 2 weeks. Alright, so on the mp5 here, it is a roller delayed system, highly serviceable, been out for, 70, 50, 60 some years. So there are plenty of aftermarket parts. The reason I settled on the POF is it does use the moniker MP5. Underneath the top rail here, it is marked MP5. It's made on HK tooling. It is a licensed copy, and it came with the paddle automatically. You don't have to worry about installing that. You don't have to worry about like removing your hand for the magazine release. And it's a 1-for-1 copy of the original MP5. So surplus stock here, worked on it. Any handguards just drop in. You don't have to worry about doing any milling or filing or fitting. I have a CB. I'm going to get to you with the muzzle device I have on here, but for PCCs it is amazing and they're only like 20 bucks. Comes stock or factory with a tri-lug adapter. I have a Midwest Industries mount on here and just a Leopold Delta Pro. Pros, probably one of the most fun and iconic weapons out there, firearm-wise. The con is they can get expensive. Right now, you have the Turkey importing the AP5, which is made in the Zenith factory, and they are amazing. You have, like, you know, the PTR clones, you have the regular H&K SP5, you have multiple different variants out there you can go with. Right now, when you can catch these at Atlantic, they run at a little bit lower price point, but right now the AP5 Core Series, imported by Century, is pretty amazing. So, next comparison, like price-wise, this is where it's at. This is the AKV from Century Arms. Now, I've had some people both on Instagram as well as in YouTube talking shit about the Delta Tech flash hider. Now, it does not engage the detent like it does on the Vitsiaz or the KP9. Now, so I got this like sight unseen. I didn't pay the $600 that people are paying now for them. I paid like $150 shipped, sight unseen from the distributor, and for that price point, it's totally worth it. It does its job. It's a flash hider. It's not a sound mitigation device, but I didn't get to see it mounted on a firearm, and it was pretty much like an extreme moment. It was like, hey, look, order this right now. We're going to get you one. It's going to take about a month and a half to get it into the U.S. prior to the war cracking off in Russia and Ukraine. I've owned this one for about 6-7 months now. And so, you know, my buddy had bought one. He's like, dude, they're worth it. So, 150 bucks, they are worth it. The $400 to $600 that they're charging now, it is absolutely, don't do it. It's stupid. Go with like a Strela or an Armcon 4-piece flash design for, you know, 9mm, and you're going to be just as good. This just looks cool, and since I paid the money for it and it's meant for an AK9, I'm leaving it on there. Now, I've owned KP9s, and I have nothing against them, but I was able to get into the AKV at an extremely affordable price point. I bought the barreled receiver as like kind of a project with PSA, did the build of putting in like the ALG trigger, because I already had the trigger, already had the furniture, already had a brace, already had all the shit to throw on it. So 1 for 1, we're talking about affordability next to the 109. This AKV9 from Palmetto State is the shit. It's awesome. 115s, 124s, 147s, it will run anything. It takes very cheap, very affordable Scorpion magazines. It has, unlike the KP9, it has like an aluminum magwell. And the KP9 is a great weapon. But you have a rail dust cover. You know, it is hinged. No, it's not hinged. I'm lying to you. I lied to you again. It is hinged. And you get the hinge, kind of the crink off little thingy there. Okay, go back down. Anyway, again, going through these things quickly. This is accurate. No, I have no cant on mine. It's zeroed, like out of the box. All I had to do is, you know, throw my furniture and a trigger group, basically assemble it, and it was ready to go. Fun project for 500 bucks. I don't like this brace. I love SB Tactical stuff, but I think this is extremely flimsy, and I've had 2 of these break, which they replaced. And it wasn't under heavy usage, it was under storage or transportation to the range or whatever. But I do use my firearms, so I expect it to work. The Picatinny rail bracket adapter back here, it's set up for, I had the original CNC Warrior brace, and that's where it's at. CNC Warrior, I don't have any kickbacks from any of the companies that I'm talking about today or an affiliation. But CNC Warrior, man, they make the best brace out there. So going back to the 109T, because I wanted to keep this under 11 minutes, we're right at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. The 109T has been amazing. As you can see, I own a couple other PCCs. There's a Sterling back there on the wall, but it's almost impossible to get those anymore unless you build them from a kit, which if you can do that, they are amazing. Do it. The 109T here, with the ability to accept any standard AR-15 parts minus the magazine release. You can put an extended mag release button, but outside of that, you can't put like an ambidextrous magazine release on it. It's elongated on the right side, but outside of that, trigger components, everything else is drop-in. So I highly recommend the 109T. Again, I don't work for SAR. The only company here that I do actually, and I am a brand ambassador for, is Unbranded AR, and that's just because I bought a shitload of their lowers and had them help me finish out several builds with the lowers that I wanted to make them specific to like a certain time period. So that's the only company I actually am a brand ambassador for. But you know, Unbranded AR LLC, like, the fucking lowers are so like affordable. You don't even have to be a brand ambassador to get a damn good deal. I mean, $79 for a lower, and then actually deep engraving, it's like $25 per side. So you can have you a really cool lower with whatever you want engraved on it for 150, 125 bucks. That's all I got, man. Thank you for watching. We're at 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Wanted to keep it short. Like and subscribe if you want to. If not, just talk trash in the comment section, ask questions. I'm much more active on my Instagram account. It's Non-Tactical Tailor 83. The link is up in the bio. So if you want actually to interact and have more conversation, my profile is public. You don't even have to follow me on Instagram. You can just shoot me DMs and I will respond. Outside of that, stay safe. Happy 4th of July. Thank you for watching the video. You guys requested this one, so the gun room here is a mess, but I did it anyway. 109T is fun. I hope you guys are enjoying yours. And again, I'm not a gunsmith. I'm not recommending how you remove your components, or if you damage your firearm, I'm not liable for that. If you don't know what you're doing, contact a gunsmith, or, you know, just be smart about it, okay? Again, happy 4th of July. Stay safe. And comment section, let me know what else you guys want to see. Thanks.